Welcome back to the Cricket Corner podcast as we review day 2 from the second test match between India and Australia here at the Arun Jaitley Stadium in New Delhi. At the end of another day's play, I feel like Australia are marginally ahead of host following an incredibly close days of action between the two sides. It was an outstanding day of test cricket. This is what test cricket is meant to be. This is why it is one of the best forms of sport in general, according to me. Another close day's action. It wasn't like Nagpur where India were by far the best team on the ground, but Australia showing fight, showing determination, and could be and would be the happier of the two sides heading into day 3. So how did the day go? India started the day, with 21 runs on the board for the loss of no wickets. Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul were the two players out to start the proceedings. And let's be honest, Australia were the better side right from the first session. The first session ended with India 88 for 4 after 35 overs at the lunch break. That means that the likes of Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul, Cheteshwar Pujara and Shreyas Iyer were all dismissed in the very first session, and that is the way Australia played throughout the day. The spinners were on top for the majority of the day's play. Nathan Lyon bowling excellent, Kuhneman and Todd Murphy supporting Nathan Lyon really well. But as it was in Nagpur, the same story repeated itself again. India's lower order once again bailing them out and making sure that India post a reasonable total on the scoreboard at the end of the first innings. It was once again Ravindra Jadeja, Akshar Patel and Ravi Ashwin who made some contributions with the bat which helped them post a good enough total to challenge Australia in the second innings. So let's get to the Indian batting. So India posted 262 runs. They fell short by just 1 run of the Australian total from the first innings. And the main contributors, as we said, were the 3 lower order batsmen, or you can say all-rounders now because how well they contribute with both bat and ball. But star of the show once again, Akshar Patel. Akshar Patel scoring 74 runs over 115 deliveries. His innings comprising of 9 fours and 3 sixes. He was partnered well alongside Ravichandran Ashwin. Ashwin scoring 37 of 71 balls, innings comprising of 5 boundaries. Ravindra Jadeja 26 runs of 74 balls, but the second highest individual score was actually by Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli, the homeboy, scoring 44 of 84 with 4 boundaries, was dismissed by Matthew Kuhneman picking up his first international test wicket. Was LBW caught in front and the umpire raising the finger. That dismissal caused a lot some sort of controversy on social media. We'll get back to that in a moment. So yeah, as I mentioned, once again India's lower order bailing them out. Ashwin and Akshar Patel were incredible for India. Otherwise, if they hadn't performed at the level they are expected to, I think India would have bundled out for less than 200, let's be honest. So what was the scenario when Akshar Patel and Ravi Ashwin were batting? Akshar Patel and Ravi Ashwin batting. So at lunch, India were 88 for 4. At tea, India were 179 for 7. So they were like 90 odd runs behind Australia at tea, 179 for 7. And once again, it was Ravi Ashwin who came out to bat in a very tricky situation with the likes of Nathan Lyon, Todd Murphy and Kuhneman batting really well. So Ashwin came out to bat at the 50th over mark when the score was 139 for 7. Shrikant Bharat was dismissed by Lyon for 6 runs, and that's when Ashwin came out to bat. And both him and Akshar Patel put up a 114-run partnership for the 8th wicket, and which was the most important innings both of them could have played in the context of the game, because Australia's 263 in the first inning felt like a total which was good enough with a deteriorating pitch, and that deterioration of pitch and the inclusion of spinners was evident when the likes of Nathan Lyon and Todd Murphy were getting the ball to grip and turn, keeping the ball keeping low on some occasions. And however, the two all-rounders batted really well, putting on 114, as I mentioned. But then once Ravichandran Ashwin was out, I think the tail didn't last long. Shami adding 2 runs, Akshar Patel also not adding much. He was dismissed by Todd Murphy for 74, which meant that India just finished a run short of the Australian total at 262. But why is it that India always have to rely on that lower order batting, the likes of Jadeja, Akshar Patel and Ravichandran Ashwin? Because once again, the middle order just doesn't perform. I think let's talk about the Indian batting for a while. KL Rahul, once again disappointing. KL Rahul was dismissed for 17. Cheteshwar Pujara on his 100th test match did not trouble the scorers, what was trapped in for MW on not. Virat Kohli, yes, scored 44. But once again, Shreyas Iyer just 4 runs and Shrikar Bharat out for 6. Shreyas Iyer was dismissed by Nathan Lyon. It was caught by Peter Handscomb at silly point. Like, Shreyas Iyer timed that ball perfectly. On any other day, that was racing away to the square leg or fine leg boundary. But Peter Handscomb showing great reflexes at silly point and taking a blinder of a catch. Shrikar Bharat trying to sweep Nathan Lyon, but he gloved it straight into the air, and Steve Smith making no mistake. But the dismissal of Virat Kohli was the one which caused a lot of controversy, a lot of debate on social media. As mentioned before, he was LBW by Matthew Kuhneman, picking up his first international test wicket. But the replays were so evident. Obviously, India and Virat Kohli reviewed the decision. Virat Kohli clearly thought it was bat first and not pad first, but the replays weren't evident that was it bat first, was it pad first. It was so close between the bat and pad when the ball hits Virat Kohli right in front. Now, you can argue either way, but my conclusion from the same is that we give umpires call the benefit of doubt when it comes to umpires call to the batsman and the bowler, regardless of the decision, because we calculate where it pitches, impact in line, stuff like that. When it's umpire's call, it's either out or not out, depending on the decision made by the umpire. So let's give another benefit of doubt of umpire's call to Australian side, because the on-field umpire gave Virat Kohli out, and then he was the one challenging him. I'm not sure whether the decision was 100% right, but we move on. So that was the one which caused a lot of stern amongst the Indian fans on social media. Once again, Virat Kohli not happy with the decision. He was seen discussing the dismissal with coach Rahul Dravid after he got back to the pavilion, and clearly felt like it was bat first rather than pad first. But that was a 50-50 call. I don't want to get into hot waters with the fans on social media regarding that. But that was that. And once again, the decision to pick 3 genuine spinners by the Australian camp worked wonders. The 3 spinners picking 9 wickets between them. Nathan Lyon was the pick of the bowlers. He picked up 5 wickets and conceded 67 runs. So the overall figures for Nathan Lyon ended at 29 overs, 5 maidens, 5 for 67 at an economy rate of just 2.31. Matthew Kuhneman picking up 2 wickets on his debut. As mentioned, he picked up the wicket of Virat Kohli, and then also dismissed Mohammad Shami to bundle India down to 262. And the hero from the first test match, Todd Murphy, not picking up 7 wickets, picking 5 wickets short. He did get 2 for 53, but he got 2 important wickets in the form of Ravindra Jadeja and Akshar Patel. Ravindra Jadeja was trapped in front, and Akshar Patel was caught by Pat Cummins. That was one of the better catches you will see. The catching has been good in this test match. KL Rahul also picking up a blinder in on day 1. So that left Australia to bat for like 12 to 13 overs. And they were incredible. Australia came out with a different mindset. I think most of the times when there are like 10 or 12 overs remaining, the batsmen just try to block it off, survive the day's play, come back fresh the next morning. But I felt like Australia didn't want to do that. Australia were doing completely the opposite, because at the end of day's play, Australia are 61 for 1 with a lead of 62 from their 12 overs. So they basically played at 5 runs and over towards from the time they came out to bat to the end of day 2. And that 61 runs could play a huge role when it comes to giving India a total to chase down. Once again, it was Ravindra Jadeja who picked up an early wicket. After just 5 overs, Usman Khwaja was dismissed by Ravi Jadeja for just 6 runs. But in the absence of the injured David Warner, it was Travis Head who came to open alongside Khwaja, and he was a sensational. Travis Head showing his class, and once again proving why was he dropped for the first test match, because he was absolutely brilliant. He countered the likes of Ashwin, Jadeja so well, wasn't troubled once. He scored 39 of 40 balls. He's still out there in the middle. He has scored 5 4s and a ginormous 6. And he's currently being partnered alongside Manas Labuschagne. Labuschagne, 16 of 19 deliveries with 3 4s. So Travis Head batting with a strike rate of 97. Manas Labuschagne with 84. I don't think they're going to baseball the shit out of India in the second or on day 3. I think that those strike rates are going to dwindle as the day progresses. But it is good to see a team like Australia coming to India and actually being positive for once. And this is probably the best days of cricket Australia has played. Now you can argue that that bowlers did struggle to get past the likes of Jadeja, Ashwin and Akshar Patel, but that's the quality that Indian lower order possesses. You can't expect them to just get those wickets out. Yes, they might be saying that, oh, we considered 50 runs extra, but let's be honest, at this point in time, Australia are marginally ahead. Now, going into day 3, they have a lead of 62 runs, and now seeing the pitch, it could be a challenge for India to chase down a total in the region of 200. So Australia will be thinking, let's bat carefully on day 3. Let's try and get 150 runs more, and then let's see what India have to offer with this on this deteriorating pitch. So if I had to predict the winner of this test match right now, I'll still go for an Indian win, because fresh day with fresh Jadeja, Ashwin and Akshar Patel, you expect them to pick wickets, and if they do, India could chase down the total with minimum fuss. But let's say if Travis Head, Manas Labuschagne continue to bat the way they are, they look comfortable, they could pile the misery and could pose troubles and could post a good total for Australia to defend against India. But the game right now is 55-45 in Australia's favour. Australia are ahead, as I said, marginally. I've said that many times in this podcast, but they will be backing themselves. They still have Steve Smith and Peter Handscomb to come. And you have, yes, Steve Smith scored was dismissed for a duck in the first innings, but you know his quality against spin. Peter Handscomb has shown in these 2 test matches that he is well capable of handling the spin. Alex Carey, yes, another duck in the first innings, but he is capable of sweeping those spinners around. Pat Cummins can also score a nice cameo here and there. There's Matt Renshaw, who has replaced the injured David Warner. Can he also score some vital 20 or 30 runs to pose a large total? You never know. So Australia will be the happier side, despite the lower order frustrating them once again. And I feel like if they don't come out and win this test match, there is something that the Indian spinners or the Indian bowlers has done really, really well to counter their amazing counter-attacking style of play towards the end of day 2. So that's the day 2 review done. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow again for day 3 in what should be yet another incredible days of action. Stay tuned to the Cricket Corner podcast, and I'll see you next time. Ciao for now.